the World Cup just keeps getting better for you, isn't it? Like another 100 for you today.
Keeps getting better for us. Another 2 points, which is fantastic. Form's always great, but my job is to go out there and score some runs and get us off to a good start, and capitalise with some momentum. Try and bat as deep as we can. And today was a good sort of hit out for us batters. I think it was a very, very good wicket. It was a challenging wicket for bowlers to get wickets. I felt that we just had to keep going deep, and we were able to do that.
Talked about going deep. You've been batting quite slow in the power play.
Thanks. I was waiting for that.
You expected that, but that's obviously been a plan from you, I would assume?
I don't mean to go out there and bat slow. I've tried to get a calculation of how many fielders I've hit in the first 10. It gets a bit frustrating because you sort of middle one and it goes sort of, full pace to the fielder and you can't even get off strike. So that's been a bit annoying, but I've just hung in there. I got frustrated against India. I even got frustrated against Afghanistan. And then today, Finchy kept on telling me just to hang in there and bat deep and bat time. And, that was in like the 8th or 9th over. Because it's generally not my game to just stick there, and I usually try and, go after it a little bit, come down the wicket or something. But it must be a bit more maturity, I think.
Dave, I think I heard you say on the telecast between innings that you were trying to make up for the last year. Is that something that's been on your mind, mate, that I guess there is a bit to make up for?
Oh, it hasn't been on my mind. It's just more runs that you can miss out on, So for me, it's about going out there and, putting my best foot forward for the team and trying to score as many runs as I can. And it was more of a, play on words to make up for all the runs that I missed out on, and for the team. So, yeah.
David, you were once known as the Bull and I think also the Reverend. Do you have a nickname at the moment? And have you had to sort of change your approach on the field?
Yeah, the guys call me Humble. It's just one of those things. I think I was on a good behaviour bond for 2 years, I think it was, if that's what you want to call it, with the ICC, and couldn't really do anything on the field. And I'm at that point as well at the moment, but, it's a different game. We've played so much cricket. I know I have in the last 12 months with a lot of different people, especially the Bangladesh guys. Getting to know a lot of them as well has been great. Just opens your eyes to a new world, and it's just a normal me now.
Mitch Stark seemed pretty up and about when he got to Mim's wicket today. What was the story behind his celebration?
Not sure. I know they have a few battles here and there, but I'm not too sure. It might be something to do with the test matches back in, I don't know, when was that? A couple of years back. But I'm not 100% sure. I know, Stark is a fiery competitor, and he's, he always gets into battles with certain players, and there must be something there with them too. I'm not too sure.
David, I know you spoke about the personal pace you bat at. Shane Warne was tweeting he thinks as a team you scored too slowly, probably before the 40-over mark. Do you pay any credibility to that, or do you look back and go, as a team, we executed a batting game plan really, really well?
Oh, look, I always respect what Warney says. For us, it's about going out there and doing, the best that we can. Whether or not we're batting slow or batting fast, I think you're going to get some form of criticism somewhere. But look, I thought the way that we batted today, we just tried to take it deep as we did, and we ended up getting 380. So, that's just the way that we're playing at the moment, and we can only adapt to the conditions that are in front of us.
Yeah. I know you didn't want a year off from international cricket, but do you think it's done you some good in some way?
Oh, I'm feeling a lot fresher. You don't get a year off. You hardly get a couple of weeks off. But look, it's I've worked hard on my own fitness. Take your mind away from the game. Just the little things of, being on time for for buses, for airplanes. Packing your bags, travelling like you guys know as well. Like with the World Cup, you're in and out of hotels. Just those basic things there. You just let your mind just be at ease, and to have time at home as well with my family was awesome, and I really enjoyed that.
David, you talk about the mental approach in coming out and opening. Is there any physical change in your game right now? I guess still coming off that injury as well. Has that changed anything, and if so, how?
Yeah, there's nothing there from an injury perspective. It's just more, obviously, the wickets. We played on a sort of a nice green sort of wicket in Taunton. And then obviously one was dry here against Afghanistan. It was a little bit different. So you're getting different conditions. So you just have to adapt to that. As I said before, for me, it's about fluency in my game, and I've hit a lot of fielders, which has just sort of got on my nerves a little bit. But I'm sure, with a bit of pace as well. We've obviously got England coming up. They've got some bowlers who bowl over 150. So, with pace on the ball onto the bat as well, it makes a big difference. So it's just all about having that fluency when you're out there.
David, you've seen Usman bat for a long time now. He doesn't come across as an ugly left-hander or a stylish left-hander. Like, how do you describe him, watching him from the other end?
Usman's a very good cricket player. He's versatile. He can play in any position. Today, to see him go out there and be very busy between wickets was great. We've played a lot of cricket together since we were young kids. He's very energetic when he gets out there, and he's been criticised in the past for a few things, but at the end of the day, he's a world-class cricket player, and I've got a lot of respect for him, and did a great job out there for us today.
David, 16th ODI ton today, draw level with Gilly, amazing record. How do you expect to be remembered, and how do you want to be remembered when your career is up?
Just as an Australian cricket player. I'm just so grateful for being able to have the opportunity to play for Australia, and to be along the lines and being the same sense as Adam Gilchrist is fantastic, and it's overwhelming. He's a bit more of a dasher than what I am at the top of the order, but he's obviously holds his own, with the gloves and with the bat. But for me, it's just about to go out there and give my best, to be honest, and that's all I want to be remembered for, is someone to give 110% when I go out in the field and just be myself.
David, obviously Bangladesh gave a fairly tough chase there. Do you think it's time that Cricket Australia invited Bangladesh over again for a series in Australia?
That's probably a question you have to direct towards Kevin Roberts and the scheduling of all that. I think we do have a series against them back over in Bangladesh, I think, next year. But at the end of the day, it's what we can only fit in the calendar and the schedule. There's a lot of cricket that goes on with IPL and other formats, So for me, it's about concentrating on cricket, and the administrators work all that out for us.
David, you just said the two more points for the team, and you almost booked your spot in the final four. Given all that, what went through the last 1 year, year and a half for Cricket Australia, what does that mean to you personally and the team, you think?
Yeah, look, it means a lot to us, but it means a lot to our country. There was obviously a dark year there for Australian cricket, and we just got to keep winning for our country, doing the best we can, put our best foot forward. We just can't be complacent and comfortable. We've got to keep moving forward, playing our best cricket, and that starts again come training in a couple of days' time.
You expressed a bit of disappointment after the Pakistan innings in getting 100, but then getting out quite quickly after. How good did it feel today getting to 160? Yeah,
I was always in the back of my mind. I wasn't striking at 100. I think I faced 120 balls before I got into, 110, I think it was. And always in the back of your mind, you look at the scoreboard and you got 14, 15 overs to go. So you just got to treat each ball as it comes, as I did, and from there try and accelerate a little bit and sort of bat smart, take those risks, but to the right areas. There's a big breeze coming towards the grandstand this side, so we had to try and work out who we're going to target. We knew with their bowlers as well, with Rubel and Mustafiz, we had to really try and make the most of, before that was getting out of the power play. Those last 4 overs we sort of targeted before we got into the last power play. So, yeah, it's just about trying to execute as much as you can.
Dave, what do these centuries on these wickets do for your Ashes confidence? And when you switch off in cricket, what's it like with a baby very close to arriving? How much does that impact your life?
They're not going to be like that for the Ashes. I can guarantee you that. If it does, it could be a long 5 days. And look, obviously with a bubble in the way in a couple of weeks, it's exciting for myself and my family. But my main focus is making sure that my wife is fine and she's comfortable, and obviously the team's perspective as well. So won't let that distract me from my goal, and that's to come out here and keep scoring as many runs as I can.
Beautiful.
Thanks, guys.